Hey, Paul. To break up here, heard you were looking for someone that knows their way around Ableton Blooper, so I was just about to...
Hello?
Oh, hey, I'm looking for Paul?
Sean?
Yeah?
It's Monica. At Jake's Pizza?
Oh. Okay. Can I just get my usual then, I guess?
Yeah, sure. 15 minutes, same as last time?
Yeah, just, set it on the porch.
Okay, bye.
Hey, wait. Is there any chance you might happen to know the default MIDI channel for Blooper?
What?
Never mind, just the pizza. Thank you. Paul's gonna kill me.
Okay, welcome to MIDI Unscripted using Blooper with a DAW Part 2. Now, when I first started this idea, the first one where I'm showing how to use Logic, it was just going to be called using Blooper with a DAW, and that was going to be it. At the last minute, I had this idea to sneak in Part 1, because I just knew there was going to be more to this. So this one is sort of like Blooper with a DAW Part 2, and it's sort of like Hive Mind Part 2, because I put the word out and talked to a bunch of people and asked them how they're using Blooper in their studio on several different recording platforms. As I mentioned in the last video, I'm going to be learning Ableton very soon. The little thing with all the buttons is on the way to my house as we speak, and Sean at Edge of Breakup is getting me started with that, so super appreciated for that, Sean, thank you. And that's going to help us down the road, but we need help now. You need help right now. So I reached out to Sean and asked him to put together a video, and he made this killer professional. I could kind of learn a thing or two from this guy, maybe. He put together this video showing how to connect Blooper to the computer, and then in Ableton, all the little check marks you have to do and all the little things you have to set up right. And then like this killer loop. What he creates here is... Sean's idea was to kind of make this the sister video to my Logic tutorial. So it's kind of set up the same way, but with his spin, which is actually really cool. So thanks again, Sean, for putting this together, and without further hesitation, let's just get to this.
Hey there, Edge of Breakup here. I just want to say a quick thank you to Paul Yule for all the help he's given me with building all kinds of crazy MIDI contraptions over the years, and for all he does for the community. So I, of course, was down to help him look at Ableton in the context of Blooper and figure out how to get them to talk to each other. So in this video, I'll be setting out to sync Blooper to Ableton Live's MIDI beat clock. That'll basically allow me to snap record, start, and stop and playback to Ableton's grid and make sure that whenever I want to start a loop, it always quantizes to the incoming one. And it's really cool because I found out that whenever you use modifiers on Blooper, it doesn't cause any kind of time drift. It's very musical and really fun to play with. So I'll be looking to highlight that as well. Really impressive, Joel & Co. So let's jump in and take a look at the hardware I used for this. So first off, Blooper is connected via the MIDI and external jack via TRS cable to port A on this disaster area MIDI box. Now I've already opened up the MIDI box with a screwdriver and ensured that port A is set to communicate in the style that Chase Bliss prefers, which is labeled CBA for Chase Bliss Audio. This just means that the correct signal traveling through the TRS cable from Ableton will be sent along to the Blooper to tell it what to do. So from there, the MIDI box has to go through a MIDI interface. So I'm using the mighty yet humble Roland UM1 Mark II. That's right, they named a product UM1 and then made a Mark II. Don't ask me why. But this is the same interface Paul used in a previous demo, so everything he said there should be applicable here. We're just going to take the MIDI cable and plug it into the MIDI in port, and then the USB end of this cable is going to run into my computer. Now, of course, you're going to need power, and you're going to need audio into the in jack and audio out to your interface. Let's take a look at how the software side is set up. On your Mac, locate Audio MIDI Setup. Ensure that you can find your interface there. If you cannot, you may need to reinstall drivers and restart. I'm all set because I can see the Roland UM1 here. When I open it, I make sure that it's set to transmit MIDI beat clock and MIDI time code, which is Blooper's default for channel 2. Then I make sure that General MIDI is checked on under Features and click Apply. Great. So now that we've configured things on the Mac OS side, let's go into Ableton and configure Ableton settings to work properly. Open Ableton Live 10 and head to Preferences. Then to the Link and MIDI tab. Look for your MIDI interface device under the Out list. Note that it will also appear under the In list, but we are only looking to send MIDI out. So you'll need to make sure that you check on the yellow boxes for both track and sync. We don't need remote for this operation. And also make sure that you change the MIDI clock type to pattern, not song. Great. Now that the hardware and software pathway for communication is open, let's configure a way to send MIDI messages to Blooper from Ableton. And let's open up the ability for Blooper to send audio to Ableton. So using the Create menu, go to find Insert MIDI Track. And then use Command F or the Browse function to go find External Instrument. Once External Instrument is loaded onto your track, you'll be able to see that you can set it to no input for MIDI, but then there are some special settings down in the device tray, and you are going to need to send MIDI2 equal to UM1 and set it to channel 2, which is Blooper's default. Then we're going to get audio from wherever your Blooper is plugged into your audio interface. For me, it's channel 1. Well, congratulations, you've now set up Blooper to be able to align and snap recording and playback to Ableton Live's time grid. Let's drag some drums in so we can test this out further. And we can begin testing out tweaking modifiers and see how Blooper reacts to Ableton.
It's Sharpie time. Okay, I was going to end the video there because that was a great ending. But I know a lot of you find this helpful, so let's diagram this out. And this is a super simple setup that I have drawn out in previous episodes of MIDI Unscripted, but let's just do this. And Knobs, you did a video with a splint on your finger, so I don't know if this is a 1-up or at least equal to. I cut part of the tip of my finger off with one of those mandolin slicers. Yes, I was using the guard. Anyway, to be continued. No guitar for a while. So what Edge of Breakup was doing there, let's start with Blooper. There's Blooper. Hi. A MIDI box. Let's say his computer. I'm not going to worry about the audio. Well, okay. Interface. I know interface is one word, but interface. So this is USB. This is 5-pin MIDI. TRS MIDI. TRS. So we're going USB to 5-pin MIDI with a little device called the UM1. This gets our MIDI signal from a USB to what we're familiar with is a 5-pin MIDI jack. Then to get MIDI to the Chase Bliss pedal, we have to do a TRS cable. So this is pretty much his MIDI signal. His audio signal, that could be anything. Sometimes it's a guitar. That's a guitar. And that just goes into there, into the interface, and usually by means of USB, goes back to the computer. So in a nutshell, this is Sean's MIDI setup. Thanks for watching, and Sean, thanks again for the awesome video which made this possible. I thank you from the bottom of my heart to the tip of my finger.